On this edition of your High Desert Sports Report, it is one showdown after another against Mojave River League powerhouse opponents in the Apple Valley Sun Devils' quest for the first MRL football title in school history.
It's amazing. I have no words for it. It's hard to explain.
It feels great. I mean, we couldn't be any more happier, sir.
The magnitude of Apple Valley's landmark win at Serrano, expressed by senior three-year starters Kai Merchant then Seth Baker in the immediate aftermath of the Sun Devils' 28-7 triumph, a major undertaking in the team's mission to claim the first Mojave River League football championship in school history. The last time the Sun Devils beat the Diamondbacks, today's seniors were kindergartners. While headlines and highlights focus on the offensive standouts, equal credit goes to Coach Matt Rohrbaugh's defense.
We just had to compete, get this W. We came in with a strong mind, knowing that we were going to play hard, come down on defense, and that's about it.
Over half of Apple Valley's 207 yards total offense come on their first and last possessions of the ball game. Their game-opening drive covers 80 yards. This drive was sustained by a Diamondbacks encroachment penalty on a 4th and short. The first touchdown comes when Jeff Widener benefits from Donovan Ferguson faking the handoff. Widener gets outside and sprints into the end zone untouched. The junior quarterback's 5th rushing touchdown of the year. It's from 24 yards out. Sevens come up favorable for Isaac Miles, who usually wears 15. His kick is good, and it's 7-0 with 7:21 showing on the Gridiron scoreboard clock at Snowline Stadium. A familiar pattern repeated by Sun Devils victims. They victimize themselves with an unforced error early on. Jeremy Justice pounces on the misplayed kickoff, and Apple Valley has it back at the Diamondbacks' 32. Jeremy Justice, 6'3", 175-pound sophomore. The Diamondbacks' defense forces a 3-and-out, however, and have the ball back. But this unforced error turns it right back over to the visitors. Outside linebacker Donovan Williams recovering the fumble. Williams, 5'8", 170-pound senior. From the 18, Jeff Widener goes back to the play he had scored on and carries to the 11. 2nd and 2. Donovan Ferguson with 7 of his 89 rushing yards on the night to the 4. 10, Nicholas Reed Casey, and 3, Trent Birch, combined to stop Donovan Ferguson shy of the goal line on the first down play. Trent Birch, 5'8", 155-pound senior. Nicholas Reed Casey, 5'11", 187-pound junior. Next play. Donovan Ferguson carries it in from a yard out. 7th rushing touchdown this season for the 5'10", 160-pound junior. 7 minutes in, it is 14-0 Sun Devils. Sophomore Joey Argueta fields the kickoff and carries across the 30, upended by Cole Kubicek. Serrano is about to launch their longest drive of the night and their longest play from scrimmage. Line of scrimmage, their 31. Nicholas Reed Casey breaks a tackle, cuts outside, and carries all the way down to the Sun Devils' 20, a gain of 49 yards. Nicholas Reed Casey leads all ball carriers this night with 165 yards on 21 carries. He comes in with over 500 yards rushing, averaging 5.5 yards per carry. The first of the Sun Devils' goal line stands starts second quarter action. Diamondbacks at the 1. 8, Donovan Williams. 42, Jacob C. 29, Seth Baker. Stacking things up for no gain. It brings up 4th and goal. 11 is Kai Merchant, averaging 7 tackles a game. The 6', 170-pound senior stalwart records his 7th tackle for a loss to snuff the Serrano drive, and Apple Valley takes over at the 3. The Diamondbacks defense digs in. 52 is returning all-league defensive end Vince Rollins, who comes in with 10 tackles for a loss of his own. 83, Tim Ostadal. 33, Mason Stiffel. 3, Trent Birch also in on the play. 93, Alex Franco. 14, Brandon Forbes. Bring down a scrambling Jeff Widener on this play. Serrano holds on an Apple Valley 4th and 2, and the Diamondbacks take over at the Sun Devils 33 with 6:13 to go before halftime. Nicholas Reed Casey gets outside and carries inside the 10 on another of his outstanding individual efforts on the night. From the 9, again, exemplary effort by the junior running back whose helmet is ripped off as he scores his 7th rushing touchdown of the season. The 2 leading ground gainers this game are juniors, Nicholas Reed Casey and Apple Valley's Donovan Ferguson. One can only begin to imagine next year's showdown between the hard-running running backs when it is Serrano at Apple Valley. As for here and now, Brandon Forbes' kick pulls Serrano within 7, 14-7, with 4:42 to go before halftime. Vince Rollins leads the avalanche of pass rushers, dropping Jeff Widener for a loss on Apple Valley's ensuing possession. It is 3 and out for the Sun Devils, but not before they unleash secret weapon number 77, Isaac Miles, out of punt formation. The line of scrimmage is the 21. The punt sails over the head of the Diamondbacks kick returner, who retreats, tries to salvage some return yardage, but is brought down at the 3-yard line. Isaac Miles is credited with a 77-yard punt to match his numerals. The tremendous punt results in field position that leads to Apple Valley's end of the first half heroics. 27 seconds on the clock when heroics begin. Seth Baker blocks the punt. Donovan Williams picks it up, and it's first down Sun Devils at the 11. 3rd and 10 still at the 11. 11 seconds on the clock when the play unfolds. Jeff Widener looks to his left, sees Chad Smith on the crossing pattern. The junior wide receiver is wide open, and it is 6 points, Sun Devils. 5th time on the year the Jeff Widener to Chad Smith connection scores. It is 21-7 Apple Valley at the intermission. Serrano opens the second half with a drive beginning at their own 31. Nicholas Reed Casey's 8-yard gain stopped by the Sun Devils' Francisco Reyes, 2. The Diamondbacks mix the pass into their attack. R.J. Conkle to Trent Birch, and Serrano is at midfield. This is 2nd and 11. Nicholas Reed Casey keeps his balance and carries for a first down. Nicholas Reed Casey again, major gain, and it is first down, Diamondbacks in the red zone at the 16. The Sun Devils' defense gets stingier, though the closer the Diamondbacks get to pay dirt, and Apple Valley holds on a 4th and short at the 10. The Sun Devils take over on downs. The Jeff Widener to Donovan Ferguson pass completion gets Apple Valley out from the shadow of the Serrano goalpost. A combination of big defensive plays by the D-backs and a major penalty against the Sun Devils bring Isaac Miles back on to punt from deep in his own territory. Trent Birch fields the kick at the 29 and heads upfield. Donovan Williams, 8, and Noah Renteria, 23, first contact in kick coverage. Then 85, Nick Pinay. Tony Willis gets the call, stopped by Seth Baker after a pickup of 5. This is the last play of the third quarter. Tony Willis, another gain of 5. The Diamondbacks start the fourth quarter with a first down at the Apple Valley 49. This is 3rd and 5 from the 44. Tony Willis, close to a first down. 42 is senior linebacker Jacob C. in on the tackle. 4th and less than a yard. Tony Willis. With far more than enough for the first down, Tony Willis was well on his way toward a 1,000-yard rushing season before sidelined with a leg injury in the Diamondbacks' win over Hesperia. The senior running back's yardage this night takes him over 700 yards rushing on the season. 3 plays later, Serrano is confronted with a 4th and 5. They take to the air, and the pass is caught but out of bounds, so incomplete. This completes the Diamondbacks' last possession, while it is a 2-possession ball game.
What was the defensive team's mindset coming in? What did you know you had to do against Serrano?
Basically, we know that they changed from their spread formation to a power set, so we just had to come downhill and just kill someone. So.
Needing a time-consuming drive, the Sun Devils feed the beast. Running back Donovan Ferguson from the 28 for a first down on a gain of 20. Donovan Ferguson again. If you recall, it was mentioned over half of Apple Valley's total yards in offense, in fact 152 of their 207 yards, come on their first possession of the game and their last. This is 4th and 7 from the 35, and a very big play in keeping the ball away from the Diamondbacks. Jeff Widener's sterling performance is based not only on his running for a touchdown and passing for another, but the fact that he comes through in critical situations. Jeff Widener tramples Serrano's last defensive effort to regain possession when it is still a 2-possession ball game. The only times Jeff Widener comes up short this night are on this earlier first half, 4th and 2, and when the Snowline Stadium public address announcer pronounces his name with a short I, Widner, instead of Widener. The Jeff Widener scramble for a first down had advanced Apple Valley to the 27 with just over 3 minutes to play. 4 plays later, and with 1 minute showing on the clock, Donovan Ferguson caps his outstanding night's work with the 18-yard run that rounds out the score, the final 28-7. The most skeptical Apple Valley fans over the years have felt the Sun Devils would sweep Serrano, Oak Hills, and Burroughs when hell freezes over. This frigid night in Serrano, figuratively speaking, the freezing spell arrives, and the Sun Devils reign supreme. High rankings for high desert teams, presented by Desert High Transportation. Apple Valley climbs back to number 1. Silverado stays at number 2 in CIF division rankings. The Sun Devils' convincing victory at Serrano elevates Coach Matt Rohrbaugh's undefeated brigade past Quartz Hill and back to the highest ranking in CIF division 10. The Sun Devils had occupied that lofty perch in the very first ranking of the season. Speaking of Quartz Hill, those Rebels opened their season defeating the team Apple Valley meets next, Sultana. And the Sultans remain a top 10 team in their CIF division at 9 in Division 11, coming off their 33-0 trouncing of Hesperia in that rivalry game, the Battle for the Key. A Sultana upset of Apple Valley throws the Sultans into a tie for first place in the Mojave River League standings. Either Serrano or Burroughs will also be 3-1 in league. The Diamondbacks host the Burroughs Friday. Silverado clinched at least his share of their second straight Desert Sky League title by beating Victor Valley 55-28. Coach Rafael Genorio's Hawks remain ranked second in CIF Division 8. Levi Taylor and company close out their regular season slate hosting the Cougars of Granite Hills. Levi Taylor threw 6 more scoring passes against the Jackrabbits, 4 of them to the top pass receiver in the state, Tay Staples. Latavian Staples enters the final regular season game with 15 touchdown receptions. Levi Taylor leads the state in touchdown passes with 40. Defensive leaders for the Hawks include Tequil Agbana, 57. The 5'10", 265-pound junior nose guard will be out to add to his 19 tackles for a loss. 9 of those 19 have been sacks of opposing quarterbacks. Elsewhere in the Desert Sky League, Friday, the Adelanto Saints host the Barstow Aztecs in a pairing between 1 and 7 teams. Number 1 teams in their CIF divisions include Hesperia Christian. Coach Dean Dorsey's Patriots are the top-ranked 8-man team in CIF Southern Section Division 2. They try to rebound from last week's 41-40 loss to Agape League frontrunners ACE when they journey to Lucerne Valley to play the winless Mustangs in the final regular season game for both schools.
Desert High Transportation brings you this video sports action highlights report. Desert High Transportation provides reliable and dependable non-emergency transportation for ambulatory and wheelchair passengers. Desert High Transportation, ardent supporters of high desert teams, athletes, and sports programs.
Offensive highlights are few and far between in the Victor Valley College battle against Southwestern, a game far closer than the 30-14 score suggests. A contest dominated by the Rams and Jaguars defenses and as evenly matched statistically as a game could ever be. Victor Valley College Rams total offense 280 yards, Southwestern College Jaguars total offense 283 yards. First downs passing, Victor Valley College 6, Southwestern 6. Passing yards, Rams 154, Jaguars 153. Each team has an interception. Total number of first downs, Southwestern 16, VBC 15. Offensive plays, Jaguars 69, Rams 64. When it's all over, all said and done, both teams leave Hawk Stadium with 4-2 records. By those comparisons, this game should have gone down to the wire, but in fact, the home team Rams slammed their way to an early 14-0 lead, and the visitors do all their scoring. 3 touchdowns and 2 field goals with a safety tacked on in unanswered manner. It was the Rams' overwhelming defensive efforts that set up the first scoring in the game. Kendall Blakely and Chris Rubin sandwiched the quarterback, stripping the ball away. Justin Carroll picks it up at the 15, dives for the goal line, and appears to score. The official rules down at the 1. Kahili Brown follows the Rams O-line and fullback Sean White and strikes pay dirt to open the scoring. 310-pound center Kevin Merrican guards Tron Simon Barrington 70 and Rocky Sua 55 leading the way. First collegiate touchdown for Kahili Brown, the 5'10", 200-pound freshman out of Lufkin, Texas. Eric Parra kicks the extra point out of the Trey Cox hold to give Victor Valley College a 7-0 lead 5 minutes into the game. Eric Parra had pinned the Jaguars back at their own 8 with an exceptional punt preceding the defensive heroics of Justin Carroll and company. Eric Parra is a former All-Desert Sky League kicker out of Barstow. This is his 2nd season punting for the Rams. This is VVC's 3rd possession. Nolan Bramer, the completion to wide receiver Brayon Williams, who was involved with the game-winning touchdown the week prior in the Rams' 20-17 road win at Citrus. This completion good for 15 yards and a first down. The Jaguars' top priority defensively is stopping Rams' leading ground gainer Sean White, who carries for 4 yards. Another Eric Parra punt draws this Rams possession to a conclusion. 19 for the Rams is freshman defensive end Travis Seidemann, who stands his ground and brings down the Jaguars ball carrier on this play. Travis Seidemann stands 6'2" and weighs in at 235. He is out of Desert Vista High School in Phoenix, one of 2 solo tackles on the night for Travis Seidemann. 3 successive carries by Kahili Brown garner a Rams first down on their next possession. Kahili Brown, the last of his 4 carries this game, he finishes with 21 yards. Trey Cox is engineering this Rams drive. The North Little Rock, Arkansas freshman hits Marlon Dorsey with the longest Rams pass completion of the night, 32 yards. It's first down at midfield. But 4 plays later, VBC is again punting it away. The Rams are completely stymieing the Jaguars' offense up to this point. Defensive back Ajan White, one of his 4 solo tackles this night. Ajan White is 6'2", 200, a freshman from Denver's Overland High School. Viewers should not be confused by the 2 jersey, number 2s. The Rams have 2 players wearing numbers 1 through 9, one on defense, one on offense. 9 is Delvin Spruill, freshman defensive lineman out of Reform, Alabama, listed at 6'2", 290. Delvin Spruill is credited with 1 solo tackle among his 3 tackles on the night. Watch 30, Justin Carroll, spin off his blocker and initiate contact as the Rams deny the Jaguars a first down on this 3rd and short. Justin Carroll, 5'10", 225-pound freshman linebacker out of Dickinson, Texas. Kendall Blakely, Ram number 7, throws this Jaguars drive even further in reverse with the sack of the Southwestern quarterback. Kendall Blakely, 6 foot, 245-pound defensive lineman, another of the Rams' standouts out of Henderson, Nevada's Basic. Southwestern's deplorable punting game puts Victor Valley at the Jaguars' 30 for the Rams' first possession of the second quarter. 12 is team tackles leader Teddy Atkins. Second play, second quarter from the 28. Trey Cox leads Michael Bonham. The former Silverado Hawk hauls it in at the 10 and runs it in. Michael Bonham had previewed the Rams' potentially explosive offense in this earlier comment.
We're a fast-paced and very athletic offense, and honestly, I think we're a dominant offense. With Hoover running the show, I don't think we can be stopped, honestly, in my opinion.
The Eric Parra kick splits the uprights, and the Victor Valley College lead is 14-0, 90 seconds into quarter number 2. Number 3, Franco Rodriguez, former Granite Hills Cougar Carlos Maharas 4, former Hawk Cameron Spratley 45, 52, Mike Paulsrock, first responders in kickoff coverage, all are freshmen. Southwestern answers VVC's second touchdown with a 69-yard scoring drive to make it 14-7. The Rams add to their woes by being flagged for intentionally grounding a pass from their end zone for a safety. The Rams do dodge a bullet when this pass interception is nullified by a holding penalty on the Jaguars. This interception, Savion Jackson's pick deep in VBC territory, does stand. Savion Jackson, 6'2", 195-pound freshman defensive back out of Palm Hill, Colorado's Overland High School. Sean White breaks a tackle and shakes loose for his longest run of the first half, 14 yards. VBC will still hold the lead at halftime, 14-9. The Rams have the ball to start the second half, and Sean White tears away from Jaguars tacklers for a 19-yard gain that gives VBC the first down at midfield. But 4 plays later, the Rams are punting it away. The Jaguars' first possession of the second half is a 10-play drive that overcomes a couple of admirable defensive plays by the Rams, Deshaun Tillman's solo tackle among them. The visitors culminate the drive with the quarterback keeping and carrying over from 10 yards out. The Jaguars go ahead 16-14. Southwestern intercepts on the next Victor Valley College possession, and momentum has totally shifted to the visitors' sidelines. Rams' offensive highlights become fewer and farther between this point on. Among the few, Marlon Dorsey goes high to pull down this pass. Marlon Dorsey had scored the lone touchdown in VBC's 10-6 win here at Hawk Stadium over LA Valley 2 weeks prior. The loss snaps VBC's 4-game winning streak, and worse yet, puts them at 0-1 to open American Mountain Conference play.
Challengers make their move to overtake front-runners in Pro 500 and intermediate classes at Wheel-to-Wheel's Race for the Rack event. John Aiden's second-place finish in the Pro 500 main pulls him within 1 point of season championship points leader Daniel Bennett. Trent Johnson takes the checkered in the intermediate main. The Apple Valley preteen is but 4 points behind season championship points leader Ricky Simpson.
11 Speedway Sprints Pro 500 drivers comprise the field in the main event. Buck Blair, pole position. John Wilburn, outside, front row. John Aiden, white 7, inside, row 2. Nate Robinson, 54. Bobby Taylor, 766. Daniel Bennett has to fight his way up from the back in his black 29. Rounding out the field, Kevin Oshins, 78, Austin Brundage, psychedelic green 3, Adam Johnson, 13X, Randy Oshins, 77, Brian Struder, white 10. Buck Blair stays high and outside, building up a commanding lead and leaving it to John Aiden and Bobby Taylor to battle it out for second place, with Daniel Bennett working his way up through the pack, hugging the inside line. The way they finished, Buck Blair, John Aiden in second, Bobby Taylor third, Daniel Bennett fourth. Buck Blair's 8 points for the checkered gives him 63 for the season. John Aiden's runner-up points bring his season total to 87, 1 point behind defending track champion Daniel Bennett's 88. Daniel Smithson, 88, wins the restrictor plate main. The veteran has 94 season points, 12 more than second place Austin Brundage. Kayla Pollard, in her white 21, finishes second in the race for the rack restrictor plate main. Will Brown, white 84, remains the season points leader among dirt carts juniors. Dirt cart seniors bring 10 strong to race for the rack. Blue 14 is Bond. Ryan Bond. 140 is Tim Lucero. They are 2 and 3 behind season points leader Wild Bill Martin, 29M. 145, Bob Lucero. Striking Lavender 77, Heidi Jo Erickson. Orange and white 15 is veteran stock car racer Jeffro Blaylock, with son Daisy in the matching color scheme, orange and white 17. Katie Blaylock, blue 4, Effie Lucero 7. 36 is Dave Taylor, 52, Mac McKinney. Heidi Jo Erickson, not reluctant to mix it up a bit in turn 4, jockeying for position. It shall be Daisy Blaylock, however, who wins out in the longer run, coming in second in the later Dirt Carts Senior Main. Wily veteran Wild Bill Martin captures the race for the rack checkered flag in the Dirt Carts Seniors main event. The Fountain Valley veteran is defending track champion at Wheel to Wheel and has built a commanding 49-point lead over second place Ryan Bond in season points. Intermediates main 12 start out in what turns out to be another near photo finish to see who stands atop the podium. White 10 is Braden Struder. White 6, Charlie Sabers. 7, Trent Johnson. White 1 with blue flames, Braden Miller-Bushy. With red 29, Ricky Simpson to his outside. Lauren Brown, white 97. Then Stevie Rogers, Cash Culp, 55, Sky Farrell. 18, Casper Wright. Blue 51 is Mia Farrell. Braden Struder and Trent Johnson will battle to the wire. 10-year-old Braden Struder was third-place finisher in the September 9th Wheel-to-Wheel Intermediates main. Trent Johnson won that. Back to school main, he turns 11 the 20th of this month. Ricky Simpson and Lauren Brown wage quite a battle of their own for what will wind up being third place. Ricky Simpson will finish third and maintain his lead in season points with 85. Final lap, race to the checkered, Braden Struder, the winner. 13 are on the track for the restrictor plate main, and unlucky foreboding for Jalen Estes, the 14-year-old in black 37. She gets sandwiched at the wall. Restart. Daniel Smithson, green 88. Austin Brundage, psychedelic green 3. Kayla Pollard, white 21. And that is how they'll finish 7 laps later. Daniel Smithson, the born on the 4th of July, 60-year-old, continuing his strong run at the Restrictor Plate Track Championship after being Rookie of the Year last season. He races out of the Huntington Beach, Costa Mesa area. This checkered gives him 86 season points, 10 ahead of second place Austin Brundage. We already spoiled the plot when it comes to the outcome of the Speedway Sprints Pro 500. Reference the action highlights of the first heat race of the day when John Aiden and John Wilborn finished 1-2. Aiden winning in a very close finish in that heat. It is not close in the main event. John Aiden starts fast and ends faster. leaving all challengers far, far behind to capture the checkered on a night that included triple-up teams. This is your Hdsr Sports Report, the Victor Valley's only weekly action highlights sports program, covering our area's schools, teams, athletes, and sporting events.